if you really want a prosperous society, you need a active, engaged voting base that has that cares about things, that
But what do
is
they care about?
engaged, intelligent, informed. How their country running correctly.
What's the correct running country?
See, that's a value. That's
Because
a matter
you're
of
talking
values, right?
about they need data. And I think they need more than data. They need a framework to put the data through.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
yeah.
and the framework that they need is virtue, and the cardinal virtue of justice is that framework. So, and then they need to know what justice is. And I don't think anybody's taught in school what justice is. You discern it on your own. Not, like a kid book, It's Not Fair Fairy. It's like, every time a kid said it's not fair, something bad happened. Because kids, they have a heightened sense of injustice, that something bad happens to them, like a real young child will think that's not fair, right? But you have to teach them it's fair because you did this, and I want you to have done this, so I'm going to give you a negative outcome so you're more likely to remember to do what I want you to do, because I want you to learn what fairness is. Mm-hmm. But it's not fair because I wanted to do that, I didn't get what I want. Yes, your view of what's not fair is wrong because it's based upon impulse, it's based upon wanting to avoid discomfort, and it's wanting to chase pleasure. And most of the populace, as informed as they get, they chase pleasure and run away from discomfort, and they live in a world where they don't know what justice is. And as far as I'm concerned, please stay home and don't vote, because those people I do not want having input in my country.
And that's why, I did mention, we also learned about things like, human rights and about genocide is one of the many things that we learned about. Because I agree, you have to have virtue, because otherwise, it doesn't matter how much data you have.
What virtue signaling about genocide? Genocide's horrible. Everybody knows that. Like, congratulations, leftist people. You think genocide is bad. Now we're going to disagree about if genocide is happening, because there's apparently a disagreement on both sides of all sorts of issue about what's going on in certain places of the world. And I don't even feel informed enough to render an opinion. But I see opinions all the time online. It's not that I don't care about what's going on in Gaza. I haven't spent the time to put on a case, a steel man case on both sides, and do the research to determine beyond a reasonable doubt who's in the right. But I don't have time to do that.
I think one of the things, learning about genocides and things like that, at the very least, one of the lessons that you can learn from that is that people who are saying, on either side, who are saying, all Gazans are evil terrorists, or all Israelis are evil, settlers. I think that learning about genocide and learning about how those things happen and about how horrible they are, at the very least, maybe you could have an informed populace that knows just by default, okay, the people who are dehumanizing an entire group, they're wrong. We know that they're wrong, and so we may not know, they might not be able to be informed enough to, say beyond a reasonable doubt what should happen, but at the very least, they can reject the dangerous extremes on one side or the other. Because I agree, I think you have to teach virtue, I think that you have to teach about what justice is, but I guess what I'm saying is, to an extent, justice comes naturally to people, at least in our society, and so I think that kind of cultivating that and teaching people about morally wrong things that have happened and are happening, I think that can lead to a not only more informed voting populace, but also one that is more that can guide their institutions towards justice.
I think one of the problems with starting at the macro level of the most egregious wrongs and have your entire value system being on, is it bad to exterminate a population? Yeah. I don't know. Is it bad to steal from your neighborhood 7-Eleven? Is it bad to cheat on an exam? Is it bad to cheat on a loved one? Is it bad, sleep around? Like, we're not asking the most basic questions of what's just and unjust, and we're trying to accept the opinions of people that don't even think about injustice in their own lives to tell me how to run a country?
It'd be interesting to see what we started with, because I know that we didn't start with genocide, because you're right. That would and also, if you just learn about the extreme examples, you might try to compare everything to that. Which
I don't know. Everybody's Hitler. Everybody's a Nazi.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I wonder why that is. It's because we're fixated upon what the bad shit other people do, and we don't, oh my God, we have to talk about Jordan Peterson, clean your room. Yes, that's a pretty good point he makes. When he was, coming up as an intellectual icon, Very simple first rule is clean your room. Okay, you're going to go try to change the world and you're going to try to stop global warming. Have you cleaned your own house? Like, is your house in order? Like, show some discipline. Like, if you are undisciplined in your own life, your opinion is worthless to me because I don't trust your character, and we don't have, at first glance, all other things being equal, we don't have as much societal vouching, community vouching that we used to have, right? It used to be, I know that, you have a kind of an effed up life and you're not very organized and disciplined, but I know you and your family and I've seen what you've done. I know your character, you're a hard worker, you're honest. I mean, okay, so all other things aren't equal, but we don't have that ability to meet somebody and hear their opinion and know whether or not they're a just or unjust person. But if they say the magic buzzwords, you're one of us. You're part of our tribe. Our tribe is based upon big macro things that we think are bad. Not my tribe is based upon in every action we do, we must be prudent. Therefore, we must look at every choice we make, left or right, binary, yes or no, 0 or 1, is it just or unjust? Every second of the day. And if we do that, here's another cardinal virtue. That's called fortitude. That, we're going to persevere of being just in every action we do. And when we do certain things, we're going to show temperance in them. We're not going to be hyper-focused on one thing or the other, because that would be intemperate. And I guess what I'm coming to is we don't teach the cardinal virtues. We don't do virtue training of kids. We expect kids nowadays to divine how to behave on their own.
And I feel like that, not only at home with my parents, but also I feel like when I was even younger, preschool, kindergarten, a lot of what you learn is, or at least a lot of what I learned was virtue. You tell the truth, you share with others.
Well, you got in trouble for being a little shit, and you got rewarded for doing good things, and you watched your parents model good behavior. Not everybody has the luxury of two just parents. And that's one of the problems in civilization right now, is the people out there running around saying this is how the world should change, they have no mental model, no framework of what a just leader should be. And, the patriarchy's evil because, the little micro patriarchy that I'm familiar with was a real shithole. Like, I was treated unjustly by an unjust man, an unjust father, an unjust spouse, an unjust stranger, right? So yeah, like, my worldview is different. So if we're not teaching that there is a sense of justice and the way a just man should behave, and we're not told, hey, do this, don't do that, because we've got people that are just letting us raise ourselves, that makes it really hard to have a framework for how to live a personal life. And then you got a whole generation of people running aimlessly through the world, listening to this manosphere leader, this leader, that leader, and trying to discern on their own what's good and bad. Well, luckily, in my worldview, I already got that covered. I can just follow one man and trust in what he says and try to discern in my life right from wrong. And then when I don't, and I don't do it like I rebel against what I'm supposed to do, like I've got a short temper, I'm impatient, I just have to pray, please let me, Lord, let me have some grace in dealing with Austin on this project,
Yeah.
And then you're less of a prick the next time.
You should pray that more often.